Thank you. I want to, before Senator Blumenthal departs, I want to thank him so much for bringing this to my attention. It came from his constituent, the idea. Sid, good friend, who has truly been a good friend to this cause. And Senator Blumenthal, I find to be always willing to work with you where he can. And the fact that he has a son who served as a Marine infantry officer and a son who's a Navy SEAL speaks volumes to his family. And to those two young men who served at the highest level in the military, thank you very much. And Mr. Goodfriend came to us with the idea, what can we do to not let America forget? Afghanistan is hell on earth right now. 23 million people are virtually starving to death. ISIS is at war with the Taliban. Al-Qaeda is growing in influence, and people inside of Afghanistan are living a miserable life. Those who helped us are being hunted down. Special Operations Commandos are now having to choose between joining ISIS or dying. And the point here is not to focus on how we got here. I've got my views, Senator Blumenthal has his. We've agreed when it comes to going forward, we have to be together. And there's plenty of blame to go around, so we don't need to beat on one group versus the other right now. What we need to focus on is what's next. And Senator Blumenthal's legislation that I joined with to create a plan, a evacuation czar, is the bare minimum we need to be doing. Out of sight, out of mind does not work in this environment. Honor our commitment is a phrase we use to describe what we're trying to achieve. You can't fight these wars by yourself. If America has to go it alone in the war on terror, it's going to be a very dark period for the United States. The goal is to get people in the faith, in the region, to fight back against the radical Islamic movement that would take the whole world into darkness. And the good news is, for 20-something years, people fought. The Afghans died in large numbers in the last 5 years. I don't think we lost a soldier in 18 months. God bless the fallen, God bless the injured. But to say that the Afghans weren't fighting is just dishonors those who fell. And now we're out, and we left behind people who had a choice between standing up to the Taliban and ISIS and Al-Qaeda and siding with us. They chose us, and now we're gone. We cannot forget them. I promise you, how we handle the next year or two in Afghanistan will determine what kind of national security future America has. People are testing us all over the world right now. I'd like to work with Senator Blumenthal and others when it comes to the Ukraine. I want to introduce sanctions with a national security waiver that would allow President Biden to sanction the hell out of Russia based on the military buildup that threatens Ukraine, not the actual invasion, to give him tools where he can go to Putin and say, this is what Congress in a bipartisan fashion thinks about what you're doing. You go forward at your own peril. I would like to create legislation that would make sure this administration and other administrations have the direction and the tools they need to end this Afghan engagement with a sense of honor. HonorOurCommitment.org, you can go to that site and get information about the status of people in Afghanistan. We've got some out, but we got a lot left behind. And this green ribbon is an effort to remind ourselves and the nation writ large what's at stake if we abandon those who fought along our side. I did my reserve duty in Afghanistan on several occasions. My commitment was small in comparison to most, but I got to know the translators. I got to know the people who work with the judges and the law enforcement officials to bring a rule of law to being in Afghanistan. I'm sure all those who served relied upon their translators for their very life. Not only what did the guy say, but are we safe? And the bravery of Afghans to side with us should be respected and honored. And I'm going to join with Senator Blumenthal and Ernst and others to introduce freestanding legislation. We'll try to do it before the holidays. And the one thing I like about Senator Blumenthal, he's the most tenacious guy I've ever met without being mean about it. He has a determination for his causes that is unparalleled. I can understand why your sons went in the Marine Corps and the Navy. I think they probably get those qualities from you and your wife. So we're going to take that quiet determination. We're not going to let this go. We're going to insist that this body vote to create a system to make sure that those who were with us get treated fairly. And to the American people, you abandoned those who helped us in Afghanistan at our own peril. This is a time of reckoning for the American people. It's a time of choosing. And I choose honor over abandonment. I choose to be a good ally, someone you can count on when the going gets tough. And I think that spirit really does describe our country. So the Green Ribbon Campaign, I'd like more of our colleagues to wear the ribbon during the holiday season to let people who are looking to America for a hope see a demonstration of our will. If you travel abroad, you're shocked at how people view our country. We sort of fight with each other all the time that sometimes we lose sight of how important we are. When you travel throughout the world, I know the president does this, people care what we think and they watch what we do. We still, in spite of all our differences, represent the best hope of mankind. I really believe that. I think our military represents the best spirit of mankind. I think the men and women who fought on our behalf in Afghanistan wearing the American flag feel a sense of obligation to those that stood by them. That's why we wear the green ribbon. Go to honorourcommitment.org. To Mr. Goodfriend, thank you. The private sector is going to get involved. We're going to get major corporations advancing this cause. And what can we do? Beyond wear the ribbon, say a prayer, we can pass legislation that will make honoring our commitment real, not just a talking point. With that, I'll yield the floor.